Ukraine is heading to Vienna with Leleka and Ridnym, but is Ridnym going to be riding up the leaderboard? Let's review Eurovision. Yes, so Ukraine is back at Eurovision this year. They're mixing it up again with their entries. Last year they had Bird of Prey. This year they've got a kind of flowy ballad of a song. What do you make of it?
Yeah, flowy is a good way to describe it, and it kind of flows out of my window of interest, frankly. I don't like being too scathing about Ukraine because obviously they are going through something quite substantially more important than the Eurovision Song Contest, but there has been a marked dip in quality. Not again, not the priority, but it like this is not vintage Ukraine by any standards, nor was last year. And I think Teresa and Maria a few years ago, probably in hindsight, probably deserved to win. But they've kind of this does not hold any water compared to something as just brilliant, as inspiring, as creative as Teresa and Maria. It's just fine. There's a lot of this sort of entry this year of just it's not actively bad, but I just it happens and I really don't care about it. It's like this like Croatia and Latvia and Albania and Belgium. It's just it exists. It does its 3 minutes, it stops existing, and my life is absolutely no different. And it's just fine. And she sings it well. It's impressive that she has that long note at the end. I think if she pulls it off, it'll be the longest note in Eurovision history. But there was a performance on one of these like live in concert things where she absolutely bombed on it. And so it's a really high risk. And if it pulls off, she'll get loads of jury points. But I just think it's not that interesting and it's not that special. It's just fine. End of.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's on the nicer side of fine, but it's not really doing that much for me. It is kind of like a perfectly pleasant ballad to listen to. Like, she sings it well. It was the longest note in Eurovision history. It feels like it's like wasted a little bit on this song.
That's what I mean. Well, to be fair, she's beating the record from Sugar by Moldova. So that
Okay,
is
so
the
the
record
bar
she
is.
beat.
Would you say that Sugar hit that long note?
She
Well,
attempted it with all her heart.
yeah. So it's perfectly nice. It feels like a little bit more this year. They're going a bit more for the jury vote than last year. Bird of Prey felt like it was an odd choice. So it feels like they're kind of getting back into the trying to send slightly more kind of competitive entries. But yeah, it feels like quite a long way away from um, Maria and Teresa. Is that their names? Did I
That was
get
the
that?
what was the name of the song?
So Ukraine is in the second semi-final. It's going 12th. It's going just after Australia, and it's going just before one of the kind of breaks for the big four performances. So just before the UK. So I mean, I feel like we don't really need to engage on the question of whether Ukraine gets through to the final. But how do you think it's going to do, and what would you score it?
Well, yeah. Well, I think your point that they're going for jury is a very interesting and it's a correct one because last year, I mean, I remember us talking last year. We weren't sure that was going to qualify for the final. That we had an active discussion about whether this was the year that Ukraine's streak was going to go, and they only go and win the semi-final. It was televote only, and both semi-finals were won by war-hit countries. Did it deserve to win? Of course it didn't. It didn't deserve to qualify. So they kind of, I think, yeah, qualification is not a question for this because they've just got a banked level of support clearly. I do I think it would I choose it to qualify if I could pick the 10 songs? I'm not entirely sure. I just really just don't care. But it's going to go through. I am going to give this, I think, a five, which is my kind of fine. It's fair. It happens. It stops happening. Okay.
Well, there we go. Yeah, I mean, there's no question it's qualifying, and I still think it could quite easily be kind of like top 10, if not definitely top 15. Um, In fact, it'll be top 10. I don't know why I'm even questioning that. It will be. I'm pretty sure it will be. So yeah, I am slightly more positive. I'm going to give it a 6. But yeah, there we go. That's our thoughts on Ukraine. Let us know what you think in the comments, and we shall be back tomorrow with another review. See you then.